Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know, I included the docket information now. If you check on the About section in the YouTube, on the link, you can click it and see all the information for each hearing. No one's talking yet, so yeah, I'll just repeat that one more time. Go into the YouTube and you click into. I did a post. I don't know if you've seen it. If you click the community post, I said about. Click the community post. You'll see I've included links to each.
Good morning. The Committee on Parole is called to order this morning. Today is Tuesday, December 10th, 2022. It is 8:32 a.m. My name is Cheryl Renata. I'll be serving as chairman of today's parole panel. My colleagues on the panel this morning are Mr. Alvin Roche and Ms. Bonnie Jackson. We are at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge. I'd like the staff at headquarters please introduce yourself for the record. Holder. Free Evans. All right, thank you. And our remote location is at Dixon Correctional Institute. With the staff there, please introduce yourself for the record.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, board. Dusty Bickham, warden.
Donald Cavalier, classification.
District Area Administrative Coordinator, Ashley Bradley, Records.
That's it.
All right, well, thank you. Thanks for accommodating us this morning, warden. And we have our first case. Sir, would you introduce yourself to the parole panel? Tell us your name and your DOC number.
Juan A Dupiere 95775.
All right, Mr. Dupiere, your case is assigned to me. I'll take the lead on the interview, so we'll just jump right in. So, Mr. Dupiere, you're currently serving, let's see, a 30-year sentence for second-degree murder in Jefferson Parish. You were sentenced in December 13th, 2017. You have a parole eligibility date, which is at the discretion of the board.
Yes, ma'am.
Time date, which is December 28th, 2029. The full term is in 2044. Does all that sound correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Dupiere, you were on supervision before, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
The reason your parole is at the discretion of the board is you did a technical violation back in, when was that? Let's see. 2008?
When was your technical violation?
Oh, the scandal was in 2017.
2017. And so tell us what happened about that scone. Why did you do that?
I was homeless, ma'am. Everything started going bad for me. After I got sick, my best friend died. I lost my apartment. I lost the vehicle I was staying in. I was staying
in Colorado.
My sponsor's son seen me walking the street and asked me what's going on. I told him what's happened. I was homeless. I was coming from looking for a job in the Ivyville projects. And from there, he said, come stay with us. I didn't have nothing else to do. I was hopeless. I didn't have nothing else.
And so that was, you went to live with your sponsor, you said?
My sponsor's son, he was moving up there with his mama because he passed away May 14th, 2014. When he passed away, I didn't have nothing else. I lost my apartment, and then I was living in my Jeep. And I was sleeping on people's couches. And from there, my Jeep got repossessed. And I was steady looking for work. I was living in shelters. I was at the end of the road. I was in desperation. And when he seen me, he gave me a lifeline.
What did you do in Colorado?
I ended up getting a job. Ended up getting a vehicle. I ended up registering with motor vehicles there. I was working every day. I was going to meetings every day. I was doing what I was supposed to do.
What kind of job did you have?
I started off in the security business, then I ended up working for Martin Marietta. It was a construction firm for the highways.
So you were arrested in Colorado on our warrant, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Didn't get in any other trouble, no other.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No other convictions, no nothing.
So tell us about what your transition, if you were successful, how are you going to survive? How are you going to keep from getting in that same situation that you were in?
I got the support system of the parole project. Those people there are there with me for the long haul, not just for the short haul.
What is your understanding of the parole project? Tell us about it. What is your understanding of the parole project?
They would help me through the transition. They would help me get a job. They would help me with residence and everything. If I have problems, I have someone I can really talk to, that I can express it, that can relate to me, that understands the situations I've been through.
Mm-hmm. And what would be your sobriety plan?
Go to meetings.
Would you go? Well, how often is it important for you to go?
Personally, like my sponsor said, I was getting drunk every day. I should go every day.
Were they helpful for you?
Yes, ma'am. And some of the people in the program would let me stay on their couch. But because of my pride of being homeless, not having enough, couldn't find a steady job, things just got worse. I went to the shelters. I paid people $100 a week to stay on their couch, and I got work. And then it just got worse. It just got over. I was sleeping on doorsteps. It wasn't right to sleep.
Do you have any family?
I have friends. I do have some people, that care, but my best thing is right there with the parole project, with people that understand me.
I would agree with that. Warden Bickham, you want to add?
Yes, man. Good morning, Mr. Knotts and the board. I tell you, Juan, I've known Juan a while. Juan worked for me for some time, for a good while. And I'm going to tell you, he's probably one of the most grateful inmates I've run across. He thanks me regularly. We talk regularly. He always thanking me about, appreciate what you've done for me. Thank you for putting me in this situation. He actually was such a good worker when on headquarters and the secretary needed an orderly down there. I had to, being that's my boss, I decided to give him the best I had. So I sent Juan down there to the secretary, and he works for him now. And of course, Juan thanks me daily for that too, of giving him an opportunity. But I'm not going to send somebody down there unless I think that they're worth it. And then Juan was definitely worth it. He's respectful. He's gone through a bunch of classes. I mean, I know we've done Thinking for a Change. I know Mr. Roche likes that. We've gone through a bunch of classes and stuff with him. I like to tell, sometimes I like to get personal and tell a little side story. I know the board but he used to cook a little bit for me, and I tasted it, and he cooked real good. And I said, Juan, there's something in here that I just can't. What is it, man? I said, I'm a salt and pepper kind of guy. He said, I put a lot of thyme. I said, well, time, you don't need to be giving it back this way. You need to go from the parole board. Enough time there, So anyway, regardless of that, Juan is one who the inmates around here respect as well too. He's involved in our programs and stuff. He's one of a kind.
Well, so Mr. Duque, tell us, you have taken a lot of classes. Your record clearly shows that. Which class meant the most to you? One that you got the most out of?
Thank you for a change.
What'd you get out of it?
It gave me a chance to look at problem solving, to understand that just because I asked for help doesn't mean that I really expressed the way it should be. Also being able to listen more, being able to understand other people has feelings as well. Understand that I'm able to compromise with things, but most of all, there's solutions. All I have to do is apply it. That's all I have to do is apply it.
How old are you, sir?
63.
All right. Well, any other questions by my colleagues? Did we hear from the parole project? Could you tell us what your plan would be?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Kerry Myers, Louisiana Parole Project. We are committed to Mr. Dupiere long term. We know Mr. Dupiere. We know his character. I'd like to emphasize that while Mr. Dupier was gone and he remained sober, before he left, even though he was struggling, when he lost his job, he lost it because of an illness, hospitalization. He had a septic infection, and that's why he was in the hospital. That's when he lost his job, when he lost his apartment. He remained sober throughout that time. When he lost his best friend and sponsor, he felt like he had nothing left. And fortunately, that man's son found him. Up until a point, he was continuously checking in with his parole officer. But when he was doing couch to couch, that became even more difficult. And in his desperation, as he said, he took that opportunity, that lifeline. He never changed his name when he went to Colorado. He never hid. He actually registered his vehicle in his name, and that's how the warrant caught up with him. Mr. Dupier had all the good intentions. He may have made the wrong choice without notification, but he had all the good intentions. And you can see now how trusted he is. We committed to him for the long term. We're committed to finding him. He's definitely employable. He has skills. We know that Mr. Dupier would be an excellent client. He understands his needs to continue to be in AANA. Matter of fact, since he's returned, he's actually completed relapse prevention, and so he's very serious about his sobriety. And we're here for the long term. We're going to help him find housing. We're going to help him find employment, and we're going to not just do that. We're going to be here as his mentors, as his guides for as long as he needs. We just asked this board to consider these things and grant Mr. Dupier his parole today.
Mr. Dupier, anything you want to say to us? Oh, we have the Jefferson Parish ADA with us this morning. Good morning, Mr. Myers.
Good morning, Randy Myers, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. I was listening before they linked me into the Zoom hearing. I was listening on YouTube. We're opposed to Mr. Dupier getting parole at this time. He shot a man 5 times in Jefferson Parish and was convicted of manslaughter in, I believe it was St. John Parish. He was given an opportunity and he absconded and he left the state. Mr. Myers, I guess kind of downplaying that a little bit, but would have been very simple for him to check in, and he didn't do so. He's had limited programs. He's earned some certificates since he's gotten back, but not a whole lot of programming. We're showing just living in balance in 2019, thinking for a change, and pre-release in 22. So, but because of his poor supervision, but because of the fact that he absconded while on parole, we're opposed.
We always appreciate the DA's input. Mr. Dupier, anything you want to say to us before we vote?
No, ma'am. I can't change anything in the past. And every day I live with that. Who I was a long time ago, I'm not. I did everything possible. They didn't have these programs before I got out. They didn't have a good support system like I needed. Every day I live trying to make amends to do the right thing. I know I hurt a lot of people. The victim's family, the community, and I know I was given an opportunity. But I didn't know what else to do after I got sick. I didn't know what else to go. I could have tried harder. I didn't know. Desperation was there. Sleeping on the street, sleeping on the porch. I didn't know. But I wasn't going to do anything else to hurt anybody else, and I wasn't going to go back to drinking and drugging. I know everything's at the board discretion. I'm just sorry about everything that happened. I'm just sorry.
How's your health now?
It's okay. It's okay, man.
All right. I think we're prepared to vote. I'll be voting first. Mr. Dupier, I appreciate the fact that you were arrested in Colorado. You did abscond, you've explained your situation, you didn't get into any new criminal activity, you remained sober. You really weren't hiding, in my opinion, as Mr. Myers has pointed out, and you said you registered a vehicle in your own name. My vote, and you have a good transition plan. We have a lot of confidence in the parole project, especially because they've agreed to take you on long term. My vote would be to grant to the parole project a long-term plan that with special conditions that you do participate in a minimum of 3 AA meetings weekly. And I would ask that you not return to Jefferson or St. John Parish.
Mr. Dupiere, good morning.
Good morning, son.
Good. I read your information last night, and you don't look real good on paper. You really don't look good. But after the interview, you look really good. This time, I think you had what you need. You didn't have a support system when you were released last time. And when you fell into bad luck, got sick, lost your apartment, you did what I would consider the only possibility that you had at hand. Somebody offered you a place to stay. That to get you off the street. And you remain sober, no criminal activity. My vote is the same as the chairman, with the same conditions, and good luck. This time, you have the Louisiana Parole Project behind you, and I think you will be successful, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, son.
Jackson. To do here, I agree with my colleague, and in your case, highlights the importance of the work done by the parole project and how fortunate we are that that project exists, because it does help in this successful transition. And so my vote today, likewise, would be to grant your role to the Louisiana Parole Project with the same conditions. DPA, you've been granted parole. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man, look at that handshake and hug with the warden. I loved it. I'm surprised that the DA actually showed up, took his time from his day to fight against this. Come on, if anyone is deserving of parole, it's this man. This is my my favorite warden. He seems to really have a great relationship with his inmates. Yeah, he screwed up, but for to go through his health issues, to have his sponsor and best friend die, but he didn't go back to drugging and he didn't commit any crimes. He somehow even kept it all together to still register a car, and like that was his parole violation. By all means, just give him a break. I don't get it. Why, the district attorney does not show up to a lot of these cases. The idea that he would take his time to show up to this one to try to keep this man behind bars because he could have called his parole board and he didn't. Where is the empathy? Yeah, he shot someone 5 times and killed him, but that was a crime which he, unless the prosecutor just like, no, he needs to stay in, but that's a whole different story. He did that. But that's not what this hearing is about. This hearing is simply about absconding from parole. And if that's the case, it's like if you're ever going to get off, this was the time. Yeah. Just just again confused about, and it's like, you know, it could be the scenario where maybe he's the prosecutor that prosecuted them. Sometimes they just like they put in a lot of, they have a lot of attachment to any given case, and they just want to see that person serve the entire time of the sentence. What was that sound? Maybe that's why, right? I'm just trying to understand why he would put so much effort into it, but I don't know. I like this defendant. I like that he got out. I think he needed to get out. He seemed like a good guy, and that's it.